She was left for being too small. That's what they said, too small to survive, too fragile to matter. When they carried her out of that cold barn, wrapped in an old towel, no one thought she'd make it through the night. But sometimes, the smallest souls carry the biggest stories, and hers was about to collide with a man who had stopped believing in miracles long ago. The night was wet and restless, thunder growling across the mountains like an angry animal. Out on the edge of a quiet Oregon town, a man in a leather jacket knelt beside his motorcycle, grease staining his knuckles. He was known as Crash, a Hells Angels biker who'd seen too much and felt too little. His life had been loud, fast, and full of ghosts. Until that night, when he heard the faintest sound, a cry so soft it could have been the wind. He turned, frowning, flashlight beam cutting through the rain. Beneath a pile of wet hay near the old road, something moved. When he pulled the towel back, he froze. It was a puppy, tiny, trembling, and barely breathing. Her fur was matted, one paw twisted awkwardly, and her ribs were visible through her skin. Someone had thrown her away like trash. Crash didn't know why his chest suddenly ached. He'd buried brothers, lost his woman, and left behind a trail of bad memories, but nothing had ever hit him like seeing that small, shivering life. Maybe it was because she looked like she'd already given up, and he knew that feeling too well. He carried her home on his bike, tucked inside his jacket. The warmth of his chest and the roar of the engine seemed to calm her trembling. In the small cabin behind the biker clubhouse, he set her on an old towel and stared at her. "You're a mess, kid," he muttered, rubbing his stubbled chin. "Guess that makes two of us." For days, he fed her with a dropper, waking through the night every few hours to keep her alive. He wasn't a man who prayed, but he found himself whispering to her, promising things he didn't even believe in anymore. The other bikers laughed at first, calling her the runt, but Crash didn't care. He built her a little bed out of scrap wood and an old leather jacket. He called her Tiny. Tiny grew stronger. She followed him everywhere, her crooked paw barely slowing her down. She waited by the door whenever he left, barking the moment she heard his motorcycle rumble back into the yard. Crash found himself smiling again, something he hadn't done in years. She didn't care about the tattoos, the scars, or the rumors. To her, he wasn't a Hell's Angel, he was home, but the world doesn't let broken souls rest for long. One night, the club got into a fight with a rival group on the highway. It was supposed to be a simple warning, but it spiraled fast. Crash ended up in the hospital with a broken leg and a shattered bike. When he woke, Tiny was gone. He searched for days, his crutches scraping the dirt roads. He asked every local, posted signs, even went back to the spot where he'd first found her. Nothing. It was like she'd vanished. The silence of his cabin tore at him worse than the pain in his leg. He'd built her a home with his hands, and now it stood empty, just like he used to be a weeks past. Crash stopped going to the clubhouse. He sat on the porch at night, staring into the dark woods. Sometimes he swore he heard her bark, faint and distant. Maybe it was just his heart playing tricks. Then, one morning, he woke to scratching at the door. When he opened it, his breath caught. Tiny stood there, muddy, limping, thinner than ever, but alive. Around her neck was a torn strip of cloth, as if someone had tried to keep her. But she'd found her way back. She had walked miles through the forest, across rain and cold, to return home. Crash dropped to his knees, pulling her close. The tough biker who'd fought his way through hell wept into her fur. "You came back," he whispered. "You came home." From that day, something changed in him. He started fixing up the old cabins for stray animals, building shelters with his bare hands. The other bikers followed his lead, laughing as the roughest men in Oregon hammered boards and fed pups. Tiny became their mascot, small, fearless, and loyal. She had brought warmth back into a man who had once been nothing but scars and smoke. Years later, locals would tell the story of the Hell's Angel who turned a forgotten piece of land into a sanctuary. They said you could still hear the sound of his hammer echoing in the hills, building homes for the lost, one nail at a time, and if you ever passed by that cabin at dusk, you might see him sitting on the porch, Tiny resting by his boots, both of them watching the sunset in quiet peace, because sometimes, the smallest soul saves the biggest heart. And sometimes, what was once too small to be loved becomes the reason someone learns how to love again. Tiny's return changed everything. The moment she limped back into Crash's arms, it was like the color returned to his world. 4 months, the man who once rode with chaos in his veins now carried a hammer instead of a fist. He worked from sunrise till the stars came out, building a shelter behind the cabin. Not for himself, but for every soul, human or animal, that had ever been thrown away like tiny.at. First, the other bikers didn't get it. They'd show up with their roaring engines, tattoos gleaming under the sun, beer cans cracking open, teasing him as he sawed planks of wood. Crash, you settling down or building a dog palace? One of them, Big Ray, laughed. Crash didn't even look up. Maybe both. Word started spreading through the nearby town about the ex-Hell's Angel who was building a place for strays. Some thought it was a rumor, others said he'd gone soft. But then people started showing up. An old woman brought a blind cat. A teenager came with a box of newborn pups she couldn't keep. Crash took them all. Tiny stayed by his side through it all, guarding the yard with that uneven little paw, tail wagging like she owned the place. The first time she barked at the gate, it wasn't anger, it was pride. She knew she belonged here.